Tired of this weather yet? I imagine a lot of folks probably are. Here's the good news. Should be coming to an end over the next several hours, and then we'll finally see some sunshine return by tomorrow. Until then, we do have some activity to track. Here's what we're finding on radar this morning. You'll notice here most of what we're seeing is falling in the southern half of Arkansas. Northern parts, north of the Little Rock Metro, didn't see a lot happen overnight. We've had some dry air that's been pushing in, and it's giving us a pretty sharp cutoff from those that aren't seeing much in places like Russellville and those that are continuing to see quite a bit. Most of it falling in the form of freezing rain, maybe mixing in with a little bit of sleet at times. But I want to show it to you a bit differently. This is just a plain old radar, and what we find here is in the green, of course, that's going to be some light freezing rain. I'm looking outside in the weather garden. That's what's falling in downtown Little Rock right now. But we notice some heavier pockets, some of these darker reds and oranges, and that tells us it's obviously a pretty heavy rain. And with the temperatures as cool as they are, we certainly are going to see some additional ice developing on those surfaces, bridges, overpasses, tree limbs, power lines, things like that. So how much is left to come? This is all moving in from the southwest. You can see that strong surge of moisture coming out of the Gulf of Mexico. So we would expect this precipitation moving just to the east of Dallas to continue pushing towards the north and east before this system eventually gets its act together and pushes off towards the east entirely. Now temperatures, of course, make all the difference. And what we find out there this morning, the metro area, which we do have precip coming down right now, we're at 32. Sure, that's cold enough to freeze on the bridges and the overpasses and the tree limbs and the power lines, but it's not until you get to 30 degrees or below before we start to have road impacts, and many of us are actually above that mark right now. We're closer to 32. It's not a big difference, but that margin of error is pretty small, and it does inevitably make a difference in terms of what impacts we see. So if by some chance in the next few hours our temperatures start to drop even lower, then of course our concern goes up just a bit more. Here's what we would expect timeline wise today. We'll have that pretty decent chance of rain this morning and eventually tapering off by, let's say, mid to late afternoon. We're going to have cloudy skies today with temperatures warming to 38. So if you're iced in, you've not been able to leave the house in the last few days, I think you're going to start to see some melting take place this afternoon into this evening. There could be an additional scattered shower or two. The ice storm warning for those of us here in purple, that runs through noon today, if not allowed to expire a little bit earlier. We can time this out by 7 o'clock. We've got that warm air pushing in from the south, and that warm air is going to make what's falling as freezing rain probably just fall as regular old plain rain, with temperatures at the surface not able to support that freezing anymore. By 11 o'clock, still dealing with those showers. Little Rock and points to the south, maybe a few pockets of sleet and freezing rain here and there, but those temperatures warm up pretty quickly, and that's really going to end our concern for frozen precipitation of any form. 3 o'clock this afternoon, I do think we're tracking a few additional scattered showers, maybe even some more moving through later tonight. Those will be just that. They're going to be scattered as this system pulls away. You'll notice the clouds push off towards the east with it, and by tomorrow morning, we're waking up. Sure, we're going to be cold in those low to mid 30s, but we're going to have some sunshine on tap for tomorrow. That warming trend takes us into the 40s to close out the work week, 50s by Saturday, 60s on the board for Sunday and into next week. That's going to feel really nice. Monday, likely the warmest day at 65 degrees. That's well above average for this time of year. It does look like we'll get a weather system moving in Tuesday and Wednesday that brings additional chances of rain. So if your car looks anything like mine, it needs a wash today. Not a good day for it. You've got the rain. You've got all the slush. Let's let that clear up before we go run through the car wash. Tomorrow, decent, depending on how bad the roads still are where you live. Saturday, though, I think it's going to be a pretty good day. To go clean up your car, maybe add the wax, treat yourself. It's going to be dry and sunny for a few days at least before those rain showers move back in Tuesday into Wednesday of next week. While we're not looking at a widespread severe weather event at this point, Tuesday could have a few thunderstorms embedded with those rain showers, with temperatures behind that system dropping into the 50s, which is pretty normal for this time of year. How about that? Normal weather. We love to hear it. We'll be right back after this quick break.